Welcome to Inner Purpose Therapy. Have you ever struggled to stay focused and thought, is there a quick fix? If there was a quick fix, would you try it out? If so, then this video is for you. Today, we're diving into a topic that's increasingly relevant, especially for those of us in academia. Study drugs. We'll explore the potential dangers and, importantly, discuss healthier, more sustainable alternatives to enhance your academic performance. So let's be real. The pressure to succeed in school, college, or university can feel insurmountable. You're buried under mountains of reading, deadlines loom like a vengeful god in a Greek myth, and suddenly, the idea of popping a pill to make it all manageable seems, well, kind of appealing. And that's precisely the allure of study drugs. They promise laser-like focus, increased alertness, and the ability to power through even the most tedious textbook. For some students, it's about keeping up with an overwhelming workload. For others, it's about combating procrastination or simply surviving a degree that feels crushingly dull. Whatever the reason, the promise of a quick fix, a way to hack your brain into productivity, can be incredibly tempting. But as we'll see, it's a temptation best resisted. When we venture into the world of study drugs obtained without a prescription, things get dicey, fast. We're talking about a black market where the risks are high and the safeguards are non-existent. First off, you have absolutely no guarantee of what you're actually getting. These pills could contain anything from a diluted dose of the drug to completely different substances altogether. And without proper dosage information, you're essentially playing Russian roulette with your brain chemistry. What starts as a small dose could quickly spiral into an overdose, with potentially dangerous consequences. Remember, just because a pill looks legitimate doesn't mean it is. Now, while using study drugs without a prescription is never a good idea, it's especially dangerous for certain individuals. If you have a history of substance misuse, mental health conditions, or suicidal thoughts, study drugs can exacerbate these issues and lead to serious complications. Similarly, if you have any underlying heart conditions, the stimulants in these drugs can put an enormous strain on your cardiovascular system. And here's the thing, even if you don't fall into any of these categories, there's still a risk. We're all wired differently, and what might seem like a harmless boost to one person could trigger an adverse reaction in another. It's like playing a high-stakes game of chance with your health, and the potential losses far outweigh any perceived gains. Let's talk specifically about Adderall for a moment, as it's one of the most commonly misused study drugs. Adderall is a combination of amphetamine and dextroamphetamine, powerful stimulants that can be highly addictive. These stimulants work by increasing dopamine and norepinephrine levels in the brain, leading to feelings of euphoria, increased focus, and decreased fatigue. Sounds great, right? Well, here's the catch. Adderall is a Schedule II controlled substance in many countries, including the United States, for a reason. It has a high potential for abuse and dependence, and even when used as prescribed, it can have side effects like insomnia, anxiety, and heart problems. In fact, the NHS in the UK is extremely cautious about prescribing Adderall, often opting for other ADHD medications with less potential for abuse. Okay, I know some of you might be thinking, I've heard all this before, but I'm still going to try study drugs. And look, I can't make decisions for you. But if you're going to dabble in this risky territory, at least let's talk harm reduction. First and foremost, start with a very small amount to see how your body reacts. Avoid mixing study drugs with alcohol or other substances, as this can increase the risk of adverse effects. Stay hydrated by drinking plenty of water, as these drugs can be dehydrating. And perhaps most importantly, educate yourself. Read up on the potential side effects, interactions, and risks associated with the specific drug you're considering. Before you even think about popping a pill to power through your studies, let's take a step back and reevaluate. The pressure to be constantly productive can be overwhelming, and it often leads us to seek quick fixes instead of addressing the root causes of our struggles. Instead of reaching for a study drug, what if we focused on creating a more sustainable and healthy approach to academic success? Start by taking an honest look at your workload. Are you taking on too much? Are there any commitments you can cut back on? Remember, it's okay to say no and prioritize your well-being. Next, consider your study environment and habits. Are you working in a space that promotes focus? Are you taking regular breaks to avoid burnout? Sometimes the simplest changes can make the biggest difference. Believe it or not, you have a whole arsenal of natural tools at your disposal to boost your focus and concentration without resorting to drugs. Exercise is a fantastic way to clear your head, reduce stress, and improve cognitive function. Even a brisk walk can make a world of difference. Speaking of breaks, those are non-negotiable. Our brains aren't wired for sustained focus, so schedule in short breaks throughout your study sessions to recharge. And hey, if you're feeling adventurous, why not try meditation? It's been shown to improve attention span, memory, and even emotional regulation. Oh, and don't underestimate the power of a good night's sleep. When you're well rested, you're better equipped to focus, learn, and retain information. And if you're reaching for that extra cup of coffee, do so in moderation. While caffeine can provide a temporary boost, too much can lead to anxiety and jitteriness, which are the enemies of focus. So, there you have it. The world of study drugs is complex, and the decision of whether or not to use them is deeply personal. But before you make that decision, I urge you to prioritize your health and well-being above all else. Explore those lifestyle changes, experiment with natural focus techniques, and remember that true success is about more than just grades. It's about building a sustainable, fulfilling life, and that starts with taking care of yourself, both mentally and physically. As always, I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Have you or someone you know been affected by study drug use? Share your experiences in the comments below.